Hi everyone, and welcome to our 40th anniversary gala. We've been working very hard over the summer to bring you tonight's events, and I can't wait to share our results with you. I've been involved with the Allegra Foundation for about 7 years now. My first experience was a double Bach Before Bedtime Allegra chamber music concert, and to this day remains one of the highlights of my performing career. Now, I not only continue to be an oboist with Bach Before Bedtime, but I also work in the administration of the foundation. What I know and feel as a performer over the years is that BBB serves the children of our community in a way that no other music organization does. Having had the opportunity to watch children grow up in our audiences, learn the instruments, gain confidence to come on stage and conduct the musicians, and just ask a question after the show is something very beautiful to be a part of. I hope that all of you watching tonight see the value that Allegra has to offer our community and give generously. Allegra does not exist without people like you, and this year we need you more than ever. So I hope you enjoy tonight, and I look forward to seeing everyone throughout the rest of the season.
Bach Before Bedtime is a unique organization performing concerts for children and families in Montreal. Each concert features wonderful young musicians, great repertoire. They're so much fun and also educational. Children love them, parents love them, grandparents love them. I urge you to support the wonderful work that they do, exposing children to music. Please support Bach Before Bedtime as I do. It's a wonderful organization, rich learning experience, and so much fun for the whole family. Thank you very much.
Bonsoir. Good evening, everybody. Mon nom est Pierre Tourville, and I've been playing with this wonderful ensemble Allegra for 15 years already. Tonight is a very special night. This virtual gala is going to be absolutely fantastic, et il est d'autant plus cher à mon cœur que vous allez nous entendre jouer avec mon partenaire de vie, Yannick Nézet-Séguin. We are thrilled to present to you this wonderful evening and also the rest of this virtual season, which is going to be absolutely fantastic avec des programmes magnifiques, dont un programme Beethoven qui s'en vient très prochainement. This year is Allegra's 40th season. C'est la 40e saison de l'ensemble Allegra, déjà. Et plus que jamais, nous avons besoin de vous. Nous avons besoin de votre support. Please consider offering a gift to this wonderful ensemble. Join us for tonight and join us for the rest of the season. Bonne saison à tous nos auditeurs, à toutes nos auditrices. À bientôt.
I'm David Griffin, horn player in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
And I'm Susan Warner, clarinetist in the Lyric Opera of Chicago Orchestra.
Sue and I lived in Montreal right around the time when we first got married, and between 1992 and 95 we had the great privilege of performing on the Allegra Chamber Music Series several times.
So for the first concert we performed together the Schubert Octet and the Beethoven Septet, and then separately on a different concert pieces that are really close to my heart, the Mozart Clarinet Quintet, as well as the Prokofiev Overture on Hebrew themes.
Thank you so much, Dorothy, for these incredible opportunities, and congratulations, Allegra, on your 40th anniversary.
Oui.
Very important to me because I love making chamber music, and here was a chance to do it, which made me so happy, and it just was so nice to be able to do that instead of just orchestra. So it was extremely important to me, and having friends there to do it with me made it, even more and fun, and made me feel good. And Dorothy was my friend, and she was the one who asked me to do it, and we had a great time together. I'll never forget it, and I thank her very much for that, because it's rare that you can do chamber music as a musician, and I loved doing chamber music, so it was just great.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight for Allegra's 40th Anniversary Gala. My name is Lara Deutsch, I'm a flutist, and I've been involved with Allegra for about 10 years, first as a Bach Before Bedtime musician, and more recently I had the privilege of being Allegra's very first artist in residence for the 2019-20 season. Allegra is one of my favorite organizations because of their no borders approach to music in the community, and I think that the impact it makes is really evident from the way you see children's faces light up at Bach Before Bedtime concerts. For many of them, it's the first time they're ever getting to hear music live or go to a concert. And I think it's also evident from the enthusiastic responses that we get from the audience after our evening performances, and the fact that you see so many of the same faces after every show. So this is a very difficult time for everyone, obviously, and a particularly difficult time for performing arts organizations. So if you can, I encourage you to contribute to Allegra, and you can know that every dollar will go towards making a real change in the community. So please stay healthy and enjoy the rest of tonight's gala.
Bonjour, mon nom est Danielle Papillon. J'ai une garderie en milieu familial de 9 enfants. J'aime beaucoup Bach à vent de dos. Je fais plusieurs activités et j'en cherchais une culturelle où les enfants pourraient apprendre à connaître des instruments. Et très franchement, Bach à vent de dos, c'est formidable. Ça fait des années que j'y adhère. Les enfants aiment ça, veulent y retourner. Savent reconnaître les instruments de musique, savent apprécier la musique aussi. C'est une activité très importante dans le curriculum de mon service de garde.
I can still remember the first time we took our daughter to a concert. She was just a few months old. We arrived. I was a little nervous because, a baby at a live concert could really spell disaster. We sat down. She was squirming in my lap a little bit, and the music started. And in an instant, her body changed. She sat up straight and looked out to the stage, and her eyes got bigger. She was enthralled. It was such a moment of wonder and joy. And as a parent, it was just such an amazing thing to witness. when I walked away from that concert, I felt that every kid and every family should have that opportunity. And I've been volunteering with BBB and Allegra ever since.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jean. J'ai longtemps participé à Back avant dodo, Back before bedtime, comme arrangeur, concepteur, présentateur, musicien. C'est un projet qui me tient à cœur pour plusieurs raisons. Bien sûr, le contact avec les enfants, but I also remember, as a parent of young kids, how hard it was to introduce kids to music, because you feel you are a disturbance for people who are at the concert. Mais si on fait un concert exclusivement pour les enfants d'âge préscolaire, alors on a tout. On a l'activité pour les parents et on a l'introduction de la musique à nos enfants. Longue vie à Back avant dodo, à Back before bedtime.
Trudeau. You know, for 40 years, the extraordinary Dorothy Freyberg and her talented musicians at Allegra have brought beautiful music to thousands of people and done good work in musical education. Now, you can help them continue that performance and education work by giving generously. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Bonsoir à tous. Bienvenue au 40e d'Allegra. Welcome everybody to this special evening, Allegra Chamber Music's 40th anniversary concert. This evening is a milestone year and very much about the many people who make up the fabric of Allegra. Our audiences, families, and music lovers of all ages. We're also here to celebrate the talent and devotion of our wonderful musicians. And we're here to celebrate you, our community, who have supported Allegra since its very first days and without whom we would not be here this evening. It's a lot of people, and far more than would be allowed in this hall or on this stage with social distancing. Et donc, sans plus tarder, il me fait grand plaisir de vous présenter une de ces personnes, Simon Aldrich, clarinettiste d'Allegra. Simon nous présentera ce soir les œuvres qui seront jouées, telles qu'il le fait si bien durant nos concerts. Je vous souhaite un excellent concert et merci d'être avec nous. I wish you all a wonderful evening and thank you for being here as part of our 40th.
We open tonight's program with two pieces that are the unlikeliest of partners. Elgar intended to write two pieces, two light pieces. One, Salut d'amour, which we'll open with, and another piece to follow it, Soupir d'amour. Salut d'amour is one of classical music's most well-known and well-loved melodies. It's light, it's easy, it's truly music for the masses. Elgar intended to write a companion piece called Soupir d'amour, Love's Sigh. But when he finished, what had emerged with this piece was something of much greater emotional weight. He realized the two could not be paired together, and he changed the language of the title. He called it now Sospiri, Sighs. He wrote Sospiri in the months leading up to the outbreak of World War I. So it was perhaps the gathering storm clouds of war that led him to write a piece of such bleak and stark beauty. In some ways, this piece is the epitome of Elgar's ability to express bittersweet, nostalgic regret in music.
Welcome, everyone, to an exciting evening celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Allegra concerts.
Our family have supported the Allegra chamber music and Bach before bedtime since Dorothy launched them over 40 years ago. Our own children and grandchildren have benefited from the music, as have many others. We are proud of supporting Rosie's musical ensemble, which is an outreach program under the Bach Before Bedtime umbrella. It ensures that all children can attend concerts, regardless of their family finances.
We want to thank so many of you who have supported Allegra and Bach Before Bedtime, and it wouldn't have happened without you. You are so appreciated, and they need your continued support to help families and communities to benefit from this wonderful music and the truly inspiring Bach Before Bedtime programs.
We respect and honor Dorothy's hard work, commitment, and great success over the past 40 years. It gives me great pleasure to raise a glass to Allegra's outstanding artistic director, Dorothy Feldman-Freiberg, and ask her to join the musicians on stage. Please join me toasting Dorothy.
To Dorothy.
Thank you, Morris and Lillian, for your kind introduction. Thank you for being our co-chairs and supporting us all these years. 40 years, I can't believe it, wow. I started Allegra quite impulsively with just 4 concerts the first season, and they were here at Pollock Hall. My strong belief was, and still is, that music, especially chamber music, one of the most intimate art forms, should be accessible to all. I was told many times over the years that Allegra would not survive unless we changed our policy of free concerts and charged admission. I remain committed to this goal. I fought very hard, and here we are at 40, after tours of Southeast Asia, Russia, US, and Canada, alive and well. An important milestone in Allegra's history is Bach Before Bedtime, BBB, our children's series. It truly is a magical experience, and if you saw the slideshow at the beginning of the evening, you'll see that we incorporate dancers, opera singers, and acrobats, clowns in our concerts. We reached almost 4,000 children this year, and with your support tonight, we are launching BBB Virtual, and this series will be available to children not only in Montreal, but it'll be accessible to children everywhere. So we're really excited to continue Allegra and BBB virtually. Our first concert of the Allegra season will be November 19th. It's an all Beethoven program commemorating the anniversary of Beethoven's birth. So please follow us on our website, AllegraChamberMusic.com, and you'll have further details as to the time and how to join us. I feel very privileged to be here tonight to play with my fellow Allegrians who are not only outstanding musicians, but very special friends. We are continuing the Gala, as we do all of our Allegra concerts, with much loved introductions to the works by our artistic advisor, clarinetist, arranger, Simon Aldridge. For us, the most important thing is being able to offer music we love, because ultimately, sharing is what chamber music is all about. And at these times, it is most important to remember that music has the power to connect us and to create intimacy and warmth. We need music and we need your support. It's thanks to all of you, our friends, our sponsors, that we're here tonight. Thank you. And now it's time to introduce our special guest and friend, Yannick Nézet-Séguin.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Yannick. Well, first and foremost, Yannick is the partner of our beloved violist, Pierre Tourville. He also is the conductor of the Orchestre Métropolitain, of which all the Allegrians are members. He's also a conductor of the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra, the Philadelphia Orchestra, and on and on. But most importantly, Yannick is a generous, kind, and loving person. Aside from that, he's an amazing pianist, and in that capacity, Yannick will join us tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Yannick, for celebrating. It means so much to us.
Well, Dorothy, you're my friend, and Allegra, I've been looking up to this society since I'm very young, a student here in Montreal, and I think it's a unique and wonderful chamber music society thanks to your leadership and your passion. So thank you for having Pierre so often, but thank you for having me now part of the family of Allegrians.
Thank you.
There is a constant in Brahms's music that despite the medium for which he is writing, there are common threads woven throughout all his music. So be it for duo sonata, chamber music, orchestral, vocal, or concerto, there's something that elevates that music beyond the medium for which it is written, such that in a concerto you can have very tender, intimate, chamber-style exchanges, conversational exchanges between the soloists and the orchestra. Conversely, in something like the clarinet sonatas, you can hear in the piano writing something much bigger than the sum of the parts. You can hear Brahms's writing for four horns, or at another time in the piano, his writing for a wind interlude or for strings. Like thousands before me, I have tried to put into words what Brahms is doing in music and what Brahms is doing to us. But like almost everyone before me, my marauding, groping efforts fall short. I think it's fair to say that when he writes in a manner that is abidingly and unshakably sad, as Alex Ross of The New Yorker says, it is a sadness that glows with understanding, that lessens our gloom for us having shared its gloom, a music that seems to be listening to us as we listen to it. Brahms is said to be the master poet of ambiguous, nameless, perhaps even unknown emotions. And when he takes us on a musical journey, he seems to give us music that is being layered with reflection, such that we pass through whatever grief we are experiencing and we come out on the other side despite having perhaps experienced an almost enjoyable deep fatigue of depression. The idea to arrange the slow movement of his first piano concerto for the forces that Allegra have, a piano, string quartet, and clarinet, has come to me many times. In Orchestre Métropolitain, we share great memories of playing this concerto with Nicolas Angelic, and last year with Marc-André Hamelin. But when I learned that this year we would be playing with Yannick Nézet-Séguin, I thought, okay, that's a sign. I have to arrange this movement. Particularly when I learned that, like myself and like Dorothy, Brahms is Yannick's favorite composer as well. So we hope you enjoy my arrangement of Brahms's slow movement from his first piano concerto. We continue now with two pieces by Maurice Ravel, originally for piano, but arranged by me for clarinet and string trio. The first piece is the first movement of the wonderful sonatine, which has an interesting history. Ravel was cajoled by one of his friends to enter a composition competition put on by a Parisian magazine. And the rules of the competition were that he was to write a short first movement to be part of a larger sonata. So he entered the competition. He was the only entrant, and he did not win. He was in fact disqualified because his piece was a few too many bars too long. So he found himself with this first movement to a sonatine. So over the next 2 years, he wrote the next two movements, and that became the sonatine that we know for piano. The second piece is Ravel's Minuet Antique, which was written for Emmanuel Chabrier, the composer who introduced Ravel to Paris and was responsible for his early success. While being called Minuet Antique, there is really nothing antique about it aside from the flat sevens at all the cadences, and it's much more modern, very modern even by Ravel standards. There are dissonances, crunchy dissonances that are not resolved. The first chord of the piece is a dissonance that is not resolved. So this is a compositional technique that results in a wonderful kaleidoscope of varying tonal color.
Good evening. I'd like to take this moment to honor Allegra's founder, pianist, and artistic director. Dorothy Fieldman Freyberg's creativity, perseverance, and love for music have made Allegra Chamber Music an institution in Montreal. 40 years ago, Dorothy had a dream to offer free chamber music concerts to all Montrealers in some of the city's most beautiful and intimate concert venues. Not one to procrastinate, Dorothy rounded up a few musician friends and Allegra's first season took off. Since that first year, Dorothy's passion and enthusiasm for chamber music have led her to play with some of Montreal's finest musicians of many generations. Through Allegra, she has introduced musicians to each other that would otherwise not have had the opportunity to play together, resulting in many close and lasting friendships. Those of us who know Dorothy have witnessed her boundless energy and determination. She is the driving force behind Allegra. She organizes the concert seasons, books concert halls and musicians, and juggles with everyone's complicated schedules. Always searching for new ideas for concert themes and repertoire, Dorothy champions lesser-known works, and last season featured women composers of different eras on every program. Dorothy's philosophy that music is for everyone is behind the creation of her unique outreach concert series, Bach Before Bedtime, for very young children and their families. When the pandemic caused the cancellation of these interactive concert experiences, Dorothy lost no time in creating an online version of the series, complete with an activity box, and also organized outdoor concerts in several neighborhoods. Who knows how many little ones have been inspired by the joy of music that is so palpable at a Bach Before Bedtime concert? Maybe some of the musicians of the future are among them. For musicians, playing chamber music is an occasion to delve into the music that is close to our hearts. During the challenging times such as these, music is a healer of the soul, and to play this intimate music among friends is a great privilege. So, Dorothy, on behalf of all the musicians of Allegra and Bach Before Bedtime, I would like to express my gratitude. You are truly an example of excellence in the community. Your profound conviction that music should be a shared experience has had a positive impact on all of us. We are grateful for the support and confidence you give your fellow musicians and the joyful and harmonious rehearsal atmosphere you have nurtured. Your steadfast dedication to promote chamber music and to serve the public of all ages and walks of life is an inspiration. 40 years of chamber music concerts is an outstanding achievement, and we wish you many more seasons of beautiful concerts. Thank you, Dorothy.
The following piece, Vaughan Williams' Quintet in D major, was written when he was young and searching for his musical voice. It was written in his mid-20s, just before he departed for Paris to study with Ravel, and it was written in the style copied and based much more on his current idols, those being Dvorak and Brahms. Later in life, one night Vaughan Williams got together with one of his dearest friends, Gustav Holst, and they decided to compare their early works, their œuvres de jeunesse. And after presenting their early pieces to each other, unfortunately, each composer decided that the others were not good pieces. They were not ready for prime time, and each composer suppressed those works and put an embargo on them against their publication and their performance. Many years later, after Vaughan Williams died, his widow, Ursula Vaughan Williams, gave all his youthful pieces and sketches to the British Museum with the embargo on their performance and publication. But luckily, a few chamber music sleuths got to work, and they lobbied Ursula to allow these pieces to be published and performed. And luckily, she acquiesced, and tonight we are going to finish this concert with the rousing finale of Vaughan Williams' Quintet in D major. We finished the program tonight with an encore that you voted on. Thank you for your votes. The winner of the vote was 2 pieces by Shostakovich from his 5 pieces for 2 violins and piano. These pieces were not originally written for this trio combination. They were in fact arranged by one of Shostakovich's friends, Lev Atovmin, who decided to show the lighter side of Shostakovich's music. The 5 pieces were taken from film music and for music for ballet. The first piece is music from the 1955 film The Gadfly, and the second piece, a polka, is music from his first ballet suite. This music is accessible. It is by turns sorrowful and happy, but it is not cut with the same anguish, paranoia, and anger that characterizes so much of Shostakovich's other music. So we hope that you enjoy this encore, and thank you for being here for the 40th anniversary gala, and we hope to see you again soon.
What a wonderful encore. I'd now like to ask you all to step into Dorothy's home in her living room, where the Allegra musicians often practice, and where they will now have an after-concert chat with our special guest, Yannick, Nézet-Séguin, and the musicians.
Allegra is 40 years. This is amazing, and it's such a pleasure to be in the home of its founder, Dorothy, here, making music with all of these wonderful musicians and friends. Alors j'ai envie de poser quelques questions aux amis ici et à Dorothy, mais on va commencer par Elvira. Elvira, what do you enjoy the most in playing chamber music? I know it's a big part of your life. What is it that you enjoy?
Yeah, it's true, it's a big part of my life, and I started quite early to do chamber music. And as you said, like, we're doing it with friends, so this is, I find, the most precious thing to do chamber music with friends, like as we're here now. Because we have so much trust, so much respect to each other, and we know each other so well. So making chamber music in these formations, when you do it with friends, it's extremely easy and so much fun, because you basically don't even need to talk about anything. It's you hear and you feel it, and you're sharing it, the same ideas, the same themes, and it's just wonderful.
You think that the music becomes the language to communicate?
It becomes totally the language. When you do it with friends.
That's amazing. But then, you know, these friends are united always, several times a year, for many years, by Dorothy. So, Dorothy, you created this wonderful society 40 years ago, and you're still the passionate advocate of chamber music in our city, in Montreal, and also with the youngest generation. So I want you to talk more about this wonderful initiative that you created a few years ago, the children's series, which is called Bach Before Bedtime.
Right, I love it, you're right, it's my passion, I love it. The concerts are about 45 minutes long, they're all chamber music, and it's very interactive, so the children have to sing, they clap, they dance, they even get up to conduct the musicians. There's a whimsical story that accompanies each show, and each one has a theme. For example, Pajama Day at the Opera, we do excerpts from Magic Flute, so they get to know opera. And they sing along and they dance. We've done stuff with authors reading from their books and ballet. But one that stands out last year was with an acrobat from the Cirque du Soleil. And it was the connection between music and movement. So the musicians were able to show how they express themselves through music, and the acrobat through movement, and how then the music vibrated through his body. He had a huge donut from which he emerged and responded to the music, and then he went back to his world of movement, and we were with music. At the end of the concerts, the children have percussion instruments. We either give it to them or they bring them, and they play along with us. And as we all know, that everything in the brain works differently when you listen to music, but especially areas of the brain are activated like a full body workout when you're playing an instrument. So this is so important for them. Another aspect that was great was meeting the musicians after the concert. So they had this intimacy of going up, looking at the instruments and playing them. Now, with the way we are in present times, we're starting BBB virtual. So we'll have a series for 3 to 5 and 6 to 10. The 3 to 5 will be animated, and at the end of each show, they will get to meet a musician, because one musician, be it a wind or a string player, will explain the instrument, show how it was made in terms, or put together, like an oboe putting it together, the reed, so on, so that children will have the familiarity with one instrument at the end of each concert, so they get to know all of them. So BB really brings intimacy, connection. It breaks down the barriers between the audience and the musicians. And importantly, it develops community, which brings me to something that I feel very strongly about. And it's our outreach program, Rosie's Musical Ensemble. and that this magical experience should be for absolutely every child. So we have to focus on raising enough money so no child is deprived of this experience.
It's fantastic to hear about this and clearly passionate about it. And you know, it's a lot of work to put together all these programs in Allegra, and you have a partner in this. Alors, Simon, c'est le conseiller artistique de Allegra, et je sais qu'il y a beaucoup de travail qui va dans le choix des pièces et aussi dans, en fait, les programmes, les agencer et découvrir le répertoire. Alors, quels sont tes critères pour choisir, aider Dorothy à choisir le répertoire?
Après la première chose pragmatique en termes d'un programme balancé, longueur, je trouve que c'est vraiment important de trouver la musique, choisir la musique viscérale, émotionnellement accessible. Je pense que c'est à propos de citer Sir Edward Elgar. Vu qu'on joue Elgar, quelqu'un demandait à Elgar, Sir, why do you write so many pieces that are accessible and populist and short like this? And Elgar replied, well, I could write a fugue or something boring, but I think what a classical music audience wants is to be stirred. Of course, he meant emotionally stirred. Mm-hmm. So I feel an onus, a weight to choose emotionally weighty music. I think it's clear that that's what the audience wants. All you have to do is go to a concert that you conduct to see that that's what they want, that's what the musicians want. Notre formation est clarinette, piano, soit trio à cordes, quatuor à cordes, donc il n'y a pas beaucoup de répertoire. Alors, je fais beaucoup d'arrangements.
Oui,
des beaux arrangements. And perhaps because I'm of British stock, I'm drawn to that British music, that the melancholic, smiling through the tears, bittersweet music of the composers from the British Isles. John Ireland, Gerald Finzi, and then the biggies, Vaughan Williams, Holst, and all the way to the top to Elgar. So I can't help thinking of a certain story of a Canadian composer who, late one night with cognac with a famous American composer, he asked the American composer the unaskable question, how do you compose? And the American composer replied, I take my favorite notes and I put them in my favorite places. And I feel I'm doing something similar. I take my favorite pieces by my favorite composers and I arrange them for my favorite formations. I play them in my favorite halls with my favorite people. So I feel a bit like a kid in a candy store. Yeah. But that's in a nutshell. That's Elgar's quote is the philosophy that sort of drives my mission, which is to choose always emotionally immediate music.
This is beautiful. And of course now, Sheila, you have no choice but to say that your favorite formation, your favorite group ensemble is with clarinet. But besides clarinet, tu fais toi aussi beaucoup de musique de chambre, donc duo, trio à cordes, trio avec piano, quatuor avec piano, quatuor à cordes, quintette, avec clarinet. Est-ce qu'il y a une formation que tu trouves où tu te sens le mieux, ou quelles sont les caractéristiques ou dans laquelle tu te sens que tu préfères?
Oui, c'est une bonne question, hein? Mais c'est sûr qu'en tant que violoncelliste, donc les cordes, on se sent tout de suite à l'aise avec les cordes. Et quand on sort en dehors de ce monde-là, il y a d'autres défis, surtout l'intonation. Nous, on est pas mal flexible, fluide, là, si on peut dire, mais aussitôt qu'on arrive avec le piano, ça nous met une rigueur qui est intéressant, un timbre aussi. J'aime beaucoup, en fait, les timbres de tous les instruments. En fait, je trouve ça toujours intéressant d'arriver avec des instruments avant, corps, des instruments des fois avec qui je joue rarement aussi. Ça peut être juste un vrai beau défi là, de trouver la façon de se mêler avec cet instrument-là. Mais je dois avouer que la clarinette, c'est quand même parmi les instruments avant probablement mon préféré. Parce que Il y a quelque chose de vraiment chaud et c'est facile de blender. Simon aussi, t'as déjà joué du violoncelle.
Oui, oui.
Ouais, non, ça m'arrête. Je me sens comme en section. Mais l'an dernier, avec Pierre, t'aimes vraiment les trios de Beethoven.
Oui.
Et pour violon, alto et violoncelle. Et moi, je ne connaissais pas vraiment ces trios-là. J'en ai joué quelques-uns dans ma vie, mais le trio à cordes, c'est une formation plutôt rare. Et les trios de Beethoven précédaient les quatuors, mais l'écriture est fantastique. C'est vraiment à découvrir. Et ça a été tellement une belle surprise et un vrai plaisir à travailler. Donc, je peux dire que ça, c'est ma nouvelle formation.
Okay. The flavor of the month. Well, Alex, you've been playing also with Allegra for quite some time, but do you remember your first experience ever with Allegra?
Yes, very much. It was an Shostakovich program.
Okay.
We played my first time playing the piano quintet, which we've played several times since, but it's always memorable the first time. Just like that.
What a masterpiece.
Yes, and the first string quartet, and I remember it was such a precious privilege for me to play chamber music because the opportunities to play chamber music are much more rare. And I was fresh out of school also, and I was really honored to have orchestra colleagues invite me to play with them who are older and more experienced than me, and so it was an enormous learning experience because we had to rehearse programs very quickly, often in just a week of just a few rehearsals, and I was used at school to practicing one piece for an entire semester. So, it was always, I remember the humor very much. And it was a big part of the Allegra rehearsals. The humor, it expressed a lot of kindness and it created a beautiful atmosphere, but it also had a practical value. They say that if you can make someone laugh, you can make them agree with you. And so it was sort of a method of diplomacy. It was used as a tool almost. And I just remember the concert went very well. I remember we always had a tradition of going out afterwards, celebrating the concert, and each concert was like a celebration. And it's been, that's 15 years.
I remember that time, it was wonderful.
Years ago.
It still is.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
Wow! C'est vrai, c'est bon. Et puis, Pierre, peut-être pour terminer, comment vois-tu le futur de la musique de chambre? Peut-être aussi que les temps qu'on vit sont quelque chose par rapport à la musique de chambre, il y a peut-être un rapport aussi.
Mais en fait, je pense que les temps qu'on vit aujourd'hui sont justement probablement davantage propices à des formations de musique de chambre, étant donné qu'on doit idéalement pas se réunir à trop de gens, mais donc c'est une opportunité de plus et je pense que for the audience, it's a good way also to come back to concerts. And I think it's very important that you try to follow us again, the audience. No, but it's true. I think it's a great way to come back. It's always very intimate. The formations themselves, les formations de musique de chambre sont toujours intimes et très directes. On se sent souvent très rattaché avec le public en tant que musicien de musique de chambre. Et je crois qu'il y a, oui, un futur pour la musique de chambre. Et justement, je pense aussi que les musiciens, on va avoir de plus en plus envie de se réunir de cette façon-là et de pouvoir continuer de partager parce que le répertoire est immense pour toutes les formations. Justement, les trios à cordes, il y en a. Il y a de magnifiques œuvres, de grands chefs-d'œuvre avec piano, des quatuors avec piano, des quintettes avec piano. Et nous, je crois qu'on ne se lassera jamais. We'll never get tired of playing these masterpieces. And we cannot wait to share it with more and more people. But for the moment, I think it's great if we can slowly welcome you back and present you. And I'm sure that for the years and centuries to come, there will always be place for chamber music.
You know, in the States, I was having Zoom calls, of course, with many, but in one at Juilliard, they were actually saying that we're predicting now maybe another golden age of chamber music because of what's happening. And
another
for me,
40 years of Allegra.
and as a conductor of all these musicians, you know, as part of Orchestre Metropolitain, I value that an orchestra should always be chamber music at large. And c'est la raison qui fait que je trouve que si les musiciens d'un orchestre peuvent faire plus souvent de la musique de chambre, c'est ce qui enrichit aussi le jeu d'orchestre ensemble. Alors, c'est 40 years is actually, it's remarkable, it's so remarkable, and yet it's still very young. You know, I know, I'm 45, so you know, I just think that, you know, I hopefully have at least another 45 years to go, and I hope that's true for Allegra as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.